People the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People 7 on Twitter and YouTube, and People elsewhere on the internet. And this is a rather amusing video for me, but it's an important point that needs to be said. Someone asked me, how do I moisturize my hair when it's braided in what I call freestyle braids that look like this? Since all the braids are going different directions. And I told her I just put my 14-1 on it. And she goes, but how? What if you only have an itch in a certain spot or you only want to moisturize the roots? Well, okay, my 14-1 is kind of a creamy liquid. But most people use hair grease and they just go in between. But for a product that's creamy like this, you take a standard Q-tip and you just go wherever you need to do it. That's simple, right? But the reason why it's amusing is because even though I know that's the proper procedure, I very rarely do it that way. Let me clip this out my way here. So now I can show you how I actually do it. First thing you'll need is a handful of 14-1 and your ever trusty bonnet. And by now I can't find my loose pink one, so I just use the form-fitting maroon one all the time now. I'll probably buy another one this weekend. And I just literally get the stuff on there. Any place I have an itch, I make sure I coat that area too. And that's all I do. That's why I found the question funny, because I do know people that will spend 15, 20 minutes going in between each and every individual part in the direction of the braid and so forth and so on. But since I literally have this one going this way and around and this one going this way, and I got a zigzag going on over here, and, you know, there's all kinds of different directions, it would take me forever to go in between each individual part, so I just don't do that. Okay, the only thing that I do worry about is right here where the ponytail is. I lift it up to get the 14-1 in that area. Because otherwise, if I just went over the top of the ponytail will be moisturized, but not the hair under it. And then comes the tricky part. Well, let me get my edges right quick. We always like to get the edges coated. Braided or not, take care of your edges and your nape, because then that will help it to grow as well. And that's the only two parts that I will actually make sure that I, individually get. Now you're just going to do like this. Like if you have an itch that you're scratching, because that pouncing pushes the liquid under the braid to the scalp. So now you not only got the parts, but you got under the parts too. See, if you go like this, you can actually feel the moisture from the 14-1 seeping in there, just like water. Oh, and it's important, should I mention, that you start with wet hair or damp hair or sprayed hair, so that way the moisturizer will attach to that water and go where the water goes, because water will follow the path of least resistance, and if that means hiding under a braid that's been parted, then that's what it will do. And that's where you want to make sure you have the moisture anyway, because you can moisturize your parts all day long, but under the braid is where your hair is going to get dry, especially if you have wider parting patterns. Now the only thing I got to do is line up the seam on this bonnet, because the seam is only in the back from here to here. We don't want that in the front. So I always find that seam and make sure it's in the back. Put the bonnet on and leave it for at least 15 minutes. In my case, an hour, because I do take a nap in between my routes. And while I'm sleeping, it'll be moisturizing. My body heat will warm that up so that way instead of drying with a whitish cash, it will dry absolutely clear. 14-in-1 dries clear anyway, but in the hour time that it's going to be on the hair, my hair will still be slightly moist or damp. So at least with the bonnet, it will look clear, so there's no white cast or whatever. Let me put this up right quick. And that's it. So, you know, to your arsenal of hair supplies, I meant to mention this when I did a haul to show all the stuff I use. Get yourself one of these. This is a package of 500 Q-tips. It's some no-name brand, Equate. I think I got it at Walmart. But I've seen people buy 10 packs of these, and then they complain that, hey, those didn't last long and they cost too much. If you buy them in little teeny, yeah, then it's not going to last long and they'll cost too much. If you buy one of these, I think I paid $2 for these 2 years ago. So, you know, when you buy in bulk, things last you longer, and the only problem with that is sticker shock, because when you finally run out of something that you have 500 of and go back to the store, the price might have went up in the time it took you to use it. So now you're going, you want how much? Anyway, this is the People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube. People are elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. Forgive me for the stuffy nose. My boss did the nicest thing. He put flowers in everyone's mailbox yesterday. But the pollen, love the gesture, but the pollen's got me all stuffed up. Anyway, y'all stay blessed. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.